Uh, my name is Bill Watanabe, and I'm here with Steve Nagano, and doing the camera is Jeff Chop. We're members of the Little Tokyo Historical Society. I'm going to take my mask off while we're doing the tour and talking, but we're practicing safe distance, just so you know, during this pandemic. Right now, we're standing at the Go for Broke Monument. The Go for Broke unit fought during World War II, was composed of all Japanese Americans, a few other Asian Americans. They fought in Europe and also in the Pacific as well. And this is the monument that is dedicated to the soldiers of the Go for Broke unit. They're the most highly decorated combat unit in the entire history of the U.S. military. And their names are written on the side of the wall over there. So we just left the Go for Broke monument down there, passed by the Geffen Contemporary Museum, and we are now standing in front of the Japanese American National Museum, which is one of the largest ethnic related museums in the country. And over to my right, there's an exhibit called Transcendience. This is the famous cube that is fun to play with. And to my left is an exhibit space for the Go for Broke exhibition that's going on every day.
Just a note, Bill is also in this exhibit called Transcendence.
So we're going to walk down First Street, and we'll stop at the National Historic Landmark marker. So we're walking down First Street, which is the National Historic Landmark District, coming up to the Far East Chop Suey restaurant. They don't serve chop suey hardly anywhere, but at one time there were chop suey restaurants all across the country. This is probably one of the last, if you look up, remaining neon chop suey signs left in the United States. But every town, every small town had a chop suey restaurant. Chop suey, by the way, in Chinese means cooking with leftovers. You can imagine a neon sign flashing leftovers. That's why no Chinese restaurant today really wants to serve or advertise chop suey. Standing in front
Hello,
of
gentlemen.
Bougatsa Dough confectionery. That was Brian Quito that just passed by, the owner. Bougatsa Dough, which serves Japanese sweets, has been in business since 1903, and they've been at this location since 1930, except for during the World War II years when all the Japanese were taken to concentration camps. We're going to go inside. All of the sweets, and if you look into the kitchen, you'll even see how they are actually making sweets. In the back, many of these are very traditional, prepared in a way that manju and mochi has been made for hundreds of years in Japan.
You should wait for the motorcycles to go by.
I know, it's a whole group of them. But Bougatsa Dough also features some new sort of American style mochi, chocolate flavored, peanut butter, and so it's a true blend of Japanese and American culture.
And Corey's back there taking over.
Was that him?
I think so.
The original owner of Bougatsa Dough, Mr. Quito, is credited with the invention of the fortune cookie. So so the mold for the fortune cookie is now sitting at the Smithsonian Museum as a historic piece. Okay. We are at the Union Center for the Arts, which has three visual arts production type nonprofits. The East West Players, the largest Asian American live theater program in the country, Visual Communications, and also LA Art Corps, which is an art gallery. This used to be the old Union Church. The Union Church moved 2 blocks down that way to the south. So it is now a media arts center and doing very well. We are right next to the Gist restaurant, which is a great place if you come to Little Tokyo for breakfast and lunch.
I just would like to also add that this was a pickup spot for Japanese Americans who were incarcerated during World War II at the Union Church.
That's right. And in fact, the War Relocation Authority had their offices where where the Reverend used to have his office. I'm going to point out the sidewalk. This is a historic timeline marker sidewalk. Most people don't even notice that this is here, but it tells a little bit about what was in these buildings over the last 100 years. Little Tokyo is a 135-year-old community, and so there's a lot of history, and this timeline, it goes all the way around the block to where we started, telling a little bit about the history of Little Tokyo and the Japanese American community.
I assume so. I hope so. You know, there might be a question because I would have lined up at before 4 o'clock.
We're looking at the sign, the street marker that says the Azusa Street Mission. Back in 1906, this was the start of the Pentecostal movement worldwide. The very first Pentecostal church started right here on the plaza of the Japanese American Cultural Community Center. And now there are over 600 million Pentecostal and charismatics throughout the world. They all see this as their base in the beginning, sort of like Mecca or Graceland.
I see.
Graceland in the same phrase.
I've seen so many people here looking at and taking pictures of that sign, and they're from all over the world.
We are now at the Japanese American Cultural Community Center, which is one of the largest cultural centers in the United States. The Aratani Theater is an 800-seat theater. This is a cultural and office building, different kind of arts inside. In the basement is a culinary arts institute featuring Japanese cooking. The Japanese garden is on the far side, and this is where the Azusa Street revival took place. The 2 rocks that are there were designed by Isamu Noguchi, a world-famous sculptor and artist who also designed this entire plaza. So we are now overlooking the Japanese garden of the JACCC. This was designed and put together by the Southern California Japanese Gardeners Federation. Volunteers found all these rocks. They went up into the mountains and brought them down. And I'm told that this is a very traditional Japanese garden, although of course it uses California flora instead of Japanese plants. But it's a beautiful setting, and when you go downstairs, you will forget that you're in the middle of downtown Los Angeles.
It's built to signify 3 layers or the 3 generations. Sort of, my understanding is at the top where it's a waterfallish, is like the Issei, who had a rougher time. As you come down the Nisei, which I would say equally had a rougher time, and then it flows out sort of more like into assimilation or in the mainstream of American culture, American society, representing the third generation.
We are in front of the Terasaki Budokan. Budokan, the building, it's about 95% completed in construction. In Japan, Budokan is like a martial arts center, but really Budokans are community centers. They not only do martial arts, but they can do concerts and fitness classes. This one will feature basketball, volleyball, as well as martial arts. It's expected to be completed in June of 2020, and so everyone's looking forward to the completion of this project. And if you come to Little Tokyo, make sure you come and see the Budokan. It will be state-of-the-art gymnasium featuring sports for young people and for all generations.